It's a great finish, and she has set her stall out early. Great finish. In true Ostapenko fashion, expect plenty of winners. Two-time finalist. Simple finish at the end.
There exists a profoundly poisonous, deeply rooted, and completely manufactured conspiracy theory that is currently spreading like wildfire through the darkest corners of the global tennis online community. It feeds exclusively on the raw heartbreak and emotional wreckage of a fiercely devoted fan base desperately hunting for any explanation to justify a total, devastating athletic meltdown. Welcome back to ProSal, the undisputed, unrivaled premier platform on the entire internet for delivering raw, unapologetic, and brutally honest insights into the cutthroat business, the intense psychological warfare inside the locker room, and the elite tactical biomechanics that define the WTA Tour. Today, we are directly confronting the massive, wildly viral elephant in the room surrounding the Lind Open round of 16 encounter between the Philippines' rising global star, Alexandra Eala, and the fiercely combative 2017 French Open champion, Jelena Ostapenko. The internet has been completely saturated with a dangerous, carefully crafted clickbait story alleging that this was a high-stakes showdown in which Jelena Ostapenko cheated in a match that virtually no one actually watched. Let us be crystal clear, unambiguous, and unequivocal from the outset. Jelena Ostapenko did not cheat. There was no illicit gamesmanship involved. There was no phantom medical timeout maliciously deployed to steal momentum. The harsh, gut-wrenching truth of what unfolded on that blood-red Austrian clay is far more savage and unforgiving than any invented cheating scandal could ever be. What actually happened was a collision of two vastly different mental universes, a match that went largely unseen because the real battle was waged entirely within the turbulent, chaotic psyche of the Latvian powerhouse. We are going to meticulously dismantle this box score. We will expose the genuine story behind that infamous spectator confrontation, and we will break down precisely how an apparently insurmountable 5-1 lead disintegrated spectacularly in front of the entire world. Buckle up, smash that subscribe button, enable your notifications, and prepare for a ruthless, in-depth examination of the most jaw-dropping momentum reversal of the 2026 WTA season. To fully grasp the sheer scale of the athletic carnage that occurred, one must carefully examine the exceptional brilliance Alexandra Eala showcased in the early phases of both sets. For large stretches of this contest, Eala possessed the perfect tactical blueprint to completely dismantle a Grand Slam champion on her favorite surface. In the opening set, Eala burst out of the gates utterly unfazed by Ostapenko's explosive firepower. She skillfully deployed her elite left-handed topspin, honed at the Rafa Nadal Academy, to force Ostapenko into awkward, geometrically challenging positions. Swiftly establishing a commanding 4-2 advantage, she was controlling the rallies. She was suffocating the Latvians' flat-hitting comfort zone. Yet the merciless reality of elite professional tennis is that you can never afford to leave even the slightest opening for a top 2-5 player. Ostapenko suddenly flipped the switch, dialed in her devastating return winners, and stormed back by capturing 4 straight games to snatch the first set 6-4. It was a crushing psychological strike, but Eala refused to crumble. She entered the second set and produced a masterclass in baseline tenacity and mental fortitude. She repeatedly broke Ostapenko's notoriously unreliable serve, forging a massive, well-protected 5-1 lead. She was conceding almost no points and stood on the brink of forcing a decisive, fiercely contested third set. She even held a vital set point in the 7th game. Mainstream sports media and the entire Filipino fan community were convinced the match was headed to a decider. But this is precisely the moment when the internet completely lost its collective mind and began aggressively spinning the false cheating narrative. Trailing 5-1 and staring down the barrel of a third set, Ostapenko momentarily lost her emotional balance. However, instead of resorting to any form of cheating, she did something quintessentially Ostapenko. She launched into a fiery, highly visible verbal clash with a disruptive spectator in the Austrian crowd. To the untrained, casual viewer, getting into a heated argument with a fan while down 5-1 usually signals total psychological surrender, the final nail in the coffin. Viewers watching from their screens assumed this chaotic interruption was a deliberate, illegal tactic designed to disrupt Eala's rhythm. Yet in the sharp, analytical machinery of Ostapenko's mind, that explosive confrontation served as pure rocket fuel. She absorbed the hostile, toxic energy swirling around the arena and transformed it into a devastating weapon. Ostapenko did not manipulate the rules. She completely shattered every conventional law of tennis psychology. Right after that intense exchange with the crowd, the match that nobody truly saw officially ignited. Ostapenko transformed from a player spraying errors and double faults to a force of terrifying, flawless precision. As online comments accurately noted, she momentarily morphed into prime Serena Williams. She boldly stepped 1 to 2 meters inside the baseline and began punishing every ball. Eala struck with ruthless efficiency. Ostapenko completely seized control, stripping the racket out of the young Filipina's hands. She unleashed blistering, flat return winners into the farthest corners of the court, leaving Alexandra Eala with zero time to react or organize her defensive slices. She erased the 5-1 deficit in stunning fashion, reeling off an astonishing 6 consecutive games to steal the second set 7-5 and close out the match in 1 hour and 43 minutes. Eala did not lose because she was cheated. She lost because she found herself caught in the eye of an unstoppable, nuclear-level baseline storm that had suddenly reached its absolute peak. The deeply uncomfortable lesson that Alexandra Eala and her coaching team must urgently internalize is the critical distinction between being a resilient fighter and becoming a cold-blooded, merciless closer. Eala has already proven she can battle back from behind and build commanding leads against the world's best. But when you have a volatile, dangerous Grand Slam champion pinned down at 5-1, you cannot depend on defensive slices or delicate drop shots. You cannot courteously wait for them to concede. You must aggressively accelerate, develop a lethal finishing instinct, and personally end the match with clinical precision. Hesitate for even a fraction of a second, and players like Jelena Ostapenko will rise from the ashes, blast you off the court, and snatch victory straight from your grasp. The cheating rumors are now dead and buried for good, but the elite, brutal education of Alexandra Eala has officially entered its most intense phase.